let's see what the markets are doing. Bitcoin's absolutely pumping. You know what would be great right now? I would love to sell my macro long position I've been in for damn near 3 months at $95,020 on live stream. We'll see what happens. Depending on how it goes, maybe I'll go live for longer than my normal time, but if you guys are new, appreciate if you guys hit the likes and hit the follow button or subscribe if you guys are watching on YouTube. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, I appreciate if you guys hit the bell notification button because it does help support the channel. And then you get notified every time I go live or post a video. So, with that being said, let's dive right into the price action that Bitcoin is doing. But first, let's go and look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Right now, we are sitting at 26 in fear, and we've been in this area for some time. Now let's head over to Bookmap and kind of see what is going on with all of the liquidity. I need to get the music going, and I also want to do a sound check to make sure that my stream is doing pretty well, so give me a moment to do that. By the way, I posted a video on YouTube about BNB. Hold on, this is annoying. About BNB, let me just... Sound looks to be good, just got to double check that. That's fantastic. Okay, so I also want to get the music going. Work with me there. Okay, so right now, this is the weekly time frame. You can see that on the weekly time frame, our biggest area of liquidity is 97,000. By the way, guys, we're live on YouTube and TikTok, just to let you guys know. So it suggests that we're going up to $97,000. I would concur. That's kind of what the charts agree with. Now, here's what I'm more concerned about. I'm more concerned about the daily time frame because that's the smaller time frame. $95,000 has the most liquidity on Bitcoin right now. The below us, there's actually hardly any liquidity below us. Up above us, above 95, there's not much liquidity unless you look at 97. 97 has a lot on the higher time frame. So really, I would be targeting these key levels to the upside of 95,000 and 97,000. I said that in my video I made a half hour ago on YouTube. We still don't have music. Now we do. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Bitcoin's absolutely ripping right now. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, and we can look at it. So, yeah. So far, wow, we have one. I didn't know I had a fan on TikTok. Wow, that's interesting. Well, that's cool. I'll have to look more into that in a second. Either way, so let's do a Bitcoin update right now. So I am in a Bitcoin trade. I've been in this trade for so long. It's absurd how long. Right? I've been in this trade for a very, 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 very long time. A very, very long time. And I don't know how far back I have to go to show you. But I entered this trade first around here. The very first time I entered this trade that I can see was right here, November 11th. You've got December 11th, January 11th. Wait, no, it was before that even. It was right here. The very first time I entered this trade, yeah, it was right here, November 10th. So a day earlier, December 10th, January 10th. Okay, it hasn't been anywhere near 3 months, but it's been just a hair over 2 months I've been in this Bitcoin position. So if we could sell this position at $95,020, I'll be pretty happy. Here's the position that I'm talking about. I paid $82 in fees on for the position size. That's a lot. Position size is almost a tenth of a Bitcoin. I'm only up $129 for 2 months, and I paid $82 in fees. So in reality, I'm only up $30-ish, $40. No, about 50. So yeah, that's what's going on. So if this gets to about $95,020, it's going to sell my position. So I'm very desperately waiting for that. Now, again, after fees and everything, I won't lose money, but this is by far the longest I've been in a position using this trading bot. So that's kind of about 95.20 is the area I want to get to. We have to get to about that level, maybe just a little bit more. But that's kind of what I'm looking for Bitcoin. Now, shorter term, what's going on in the price section? Let's kind of look at it. The 15-minute time frame, getting a pump up. We're very overbought on the smaller time frame, so just be aware of that. I could see us making something like this, though, because you're not giving it back, but you're not getting more of a pump right now. So like a bullpen on the 10-minute, which would most likely mean that you're going to continue up. And that would get you the measure move of about 96,000. So I'll leave this here. We'll see what happens So that's something to note. 1 hour very far from the 21. The 4 hour time frame, again, overbought, stock RSI overbought above the 200. That's a great sign. But you're far from the 21. So if Bitcoin short term comes back down to 91, I'm cool with that. I just really, really would like Bitcoin to get above $95,000 before that happens for obvious reasons that I just went over. 8 hour time frame, overbought, well above the 200. You're really far though from the 21, the blue line. So again, at some point, like, is this going to be just another rejection of this weekly resistance that we have at 94.8? If we can't crack 94.8, I'm going to be disappointed. This would be our third rejection of that level. 1, 2, and this would be the third time. If you break 94.8K, which is weekly resistance, your next target is 97.5 for Bitcoin. What I love and what gives me hope that this won't be another rejection, maybe we don't crack it today, but I don't believe this will be another rejection because the 12-hour time frame is curving up so aggressively on the stock RSI. You're gonna put in a higher high. You've made a higher low. You're in this uptrend ever since 80,000, and as long as you don't lose 89,000, I would say that Bitcoin is bullish. If you hold 89,000, so I'm gonna long a Bitcoin with the stop below this last local trend line at 89K. If you hold 89K, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm really bullish if Bitcoin cracks 95K. Daily time frame looks okay to me, but the next target for me, like because you're above the 8-hour 200, is the 12-hour 200-day moving average. That's coming in at about $97,500. So to me, I'd be very surprised if at some point this month we don't at least crack 97.5. But I think it's going to happen in the next 7 days. My bold prediction is that Bitcoin hits $97,500 in the next 7 days. Thank you, Barefoot on TikTok, for the likes. So that's kind of my prediction for Bitcoin right now. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. I get this is not the normal time I go live. It still surprises me when Bitcoin's pumping that more people are not watching. I also entered along on Binance Coin, BNB. And I already went over this, but my target is about 1150. My take profit is above 1100. My stop loss is 880. And I took this trade on the daily time frame and the 1 hour time frame. I took it on the daily because you're above the 21. If you stay above the 21-day moving average, I'll stay in this trade on the daily time frame. And then you could say, why did you take out 2 time frames? Well, the daily, because you're above the 21 and the 200, right? So I took it on the daily. But I paired it with the 1 hour because you're in a bull flag on the 1 hour with a measure move of about 1100, 1150, depending on how you chart it. That's a parabolic move. That's a bullish engulfing green candle on the 1 hour. You're above the 200 and the 1 hour, and the 21 on the 1 hour. So I did take the trade based on the daily, but I also paired it and I got confirmation on the smaller time frames. So that's what I did. I entered at 943. I tried to enter at 919 and just ripped, so I decided to FOMO in a little bit here because this is a longer term trade. Usually I wouldn't want to FOMO in on the smaller time frames, but because it's a higher time frame trade, I guess I don't care. Plus, I think Bitcoin's gonna rip this in the next 7 days. So if that's the case, I might as well just get into the trade now. And my risk to reward is still 3-1, even entering at 943. So that's kind of what we got going on. If we did something like a bullish retest of this breakout zone and meander back down, then rip, that I wouldn't be surprised. But we could also just keep going up, or we could, go sideways and continue up and never revisit these lows. So we'll see what happens, but I am also along on Bitcoin and along on Binance. Those are the 2 positions I'm in right now. We'll see what happens from there. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, and we'll look at them. But that's what I see going on for Bitcoin, Binance Coin, and yeah. XMR was a coin that ripped this week. All-time highs on XMR Monero. It's a privacy coin. And I'm going to make this purple for all-time highs. That's very bullish. Yellow is resistance or support. What is this dashed line for? I'm going to delete that. Okay. I like all these to be yellow. So anyways, support and resistance is yellow. All-time highs on any asset is purple. and XMR is doing parabolic things. Is it too late to enter long? Well, you could say sure. This is basically becoming a rising wedge. I will say that, let me look at the daily quickly. You're obviously above the daily 200. You're above the daily 21. If you stay above the daily 21, I see no reason why you can't enter another long. But these have been 3 insane candles. And by the way, I don't talk about it very often, but this is 3 white shoulders, assuming in the next 2.5 hours you do not get a red candle below 626, which is possible. But if this closes as a green candle, all of them, are green. This is 3 white shoulders or 3 white shoulder soldiers, and that is a very bullish pattern. So at the end of the day, guys, I at some point XMR does need to consolidate, but this is obviously a massive breakout. It's a beautiful breakout, and to be honest with you, what is the next measure move? Well, you probably about hit it. In fact, you did. You hit it around 680, 690, 685. And at this point, I would look at the smaller time frames to see if you're going sideways. The smaller time frames you kind of are. And it suggests maybe you get one more leg to the upside. So this is not financial advice, but if you want to be very risk on, I don't think it's a horrific idea to take a small nibble at another long here on XMR to a new all-time high of maybe about 832. Now, I can't tell you where to put your stop loss, but if I took this trade, my stop would be 640 or below. And I would say below 640 actually. And take profit if you want to have it. I would say your take profit's 830, 834, 835. So those are my 2 ideas. That's my idea on XMR, and I'd be watching another move to the upside here. Again, as long as you're above the daily 21 and the daily 200, right now the daily 21 is coming in at 480, we'll say, and the 1 hour is coming in. On the 1 hour, it's a smaller time frame. I don't care about the 21 as much. I do a little bit. It's touching price action, so that's a good sign. But I care more about the 200 on the smaller time frames. So I would just say this: the 200 on the 1 hour is at 500. The 21 on the is at 480, at 470. If you stay above, I'll say 480. I see no reason why this can't rip. I know that's a long ways away. Really, your stop loss could definitely be 640 and be fine. I see XMR ripping if you stay above 640. I'll just say that. Like it could easily go up to 830. So, guys, to me, this looks and this makes sense for another long on XMR. Thank you for 1,000 likes on TikTok. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, that's kind of what we got going on right now on XMR. Like I'm actually when this is over, when I'm done with this live stream in a few minutes, I'm gonna actually probably open a small position of $1,000 or so on XMR and just see what we can get out of it. I believe even though we're still in a bear market, I think the next few weeks could be what you would think of a bull market would be like. It's been 2 to 3 months. I would say that it's been very bearish. The entire market sucked. That we're in a new year. I think we can see, even if we're still in a bear market, even if we make a lower high up to about 104,000, I still believe that Bitcoin can at least get to 104,000 before making a macro lower high, and then maybe you take out 80K to the downside and go down to 70 or 75. I'm open-minded, and I think that's a possibility, but that doesn't mean we can't. It doesn't mean that we can't get up to above 100K before something like that happens. Like this could be a decade bounce. I'm fine if that's the case. Well, this is not financial advice, man, but I think right now is an okay time. I mean, the 1 hour is oversold. We can look at the 15-minute time frame, which I don't think that looks bad at all. 33-minute. Do you know what this is? That's like a W. This looks like it's I mean, anything's possible. It's definitely higher risk. But we'll see what happens. That's a W pattern, just like an M pattern. It's been a while since I've talked about this as well. If you see an M pattern, they're bearish. If you see a W pattern, they're bullish. And this is pretty likely to pump. So this is a bull flag. and 830 would be the target. Stop loss below 640, below 640, and entry is probably right about now. So, yeah, that's my update on XMR. All right, guys, that's kind of gonna wrap it up. That's what I see going on. That's a market update for you, and I just see the market likely to continue to go to the upside. I really, really want to see Bitcoin crack 95K though before we get a major rejection. I've been in this trade 2 months and I'm ready to sell. I'm ready, and the fees are kind of almost starting to kill me now because the fees are half of the position size. So, like, if we could get a pump here and just continue going up, I would be pretty happy. Paying $83 in fees for a trade I'm only going to make $200 on is not fun. It's not great. But at least I won't lose money. While probably most people in the last 2 months have lost money. So I can't complain. But that's my update on. So I gave you a trade on XMR. I gave you a trade on BNB. And I would say, I don't know which one's safer. XMR might be a little safer, maybe a little. Both are kind of extended, especially XMR. But that's my update, guys, on the market. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great night. Enjoy this pump. Hopefully it will continue. I think it will. And I'll see you guys on Saturday for our next live stream. Until then, trade safe. Have a great week, a great work week. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios. And always use a stop loss. That's my advice. The trend's your friend till the end, baby. And the trend's obviously to the upside on most assets right now. Silver, gold pumping, all of those pumping. Tesla's not exactly pumping, but silver and gold are. I expect Bitcoin to probably follow later this year. Maybe not quite yet. Maybe again, you go up to 104, get rejected, make a lower low below 80K, and then, back end of this year in 6 to 9 months, you could get the, Bitcoin bear market bottom would be in, and maybe in 6 to 9 months you make that new all-time high up to a 125. That's kind of what I think. I think you get a dead cat bounce to 104, make a lower low below 80K down to 70 or 75K, put a bottom in there, and then sometime later this year you could get a move above 125, maybe at the very end of this year. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's what I think is going to happen. All right, guys, have a great one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.